Hello station students, we are going to review on how to make the 1.5 inch cube in SketchUp. First thing we're going to do is we always want to start with a new file, so make sure you go up to File, New to open a new file. It'll start out with the person in the center and your three axes in the middle. We don't need the person there, but I am going to click on it once and just press delete on my keyboard to remove him. Next thing we want to do is we want to begin to save our file. So I am going to go up to File, Save As. Always double check that it's in the correct folder that you are saving to. And if you're saving to an additional folder, you can make sure you're in there. We are going to title this 1-5 inch cube. You'll know that it's saved based by the title in the top left corner up here. Now to begin, we're going to start with our rectangle tool. Your toolbars should be set up as you see them here because we went through our setup process with SketchUp. Grab the rectangle tool. And I always like to start my project in the middle of these three lines, the X, Y, and Z axis. I go to make sure I snap at the origin. And remember, with this, you are clicking and releasing the mouse. You start to pull away, and you're creating an outline of the cube. We're going to type in our measurements. I'm going to type in 1.5 inches, which is shift quotations, and then comma, and again 1.5 inches. Notice in the bottom right hand corner you'll see dimensions. You'll see my dimensions say 1.5 inches, comma 1.5 inches. Now when I hit enter, it's going to go to that exact size. Enter. It might look that it did not do anything, but you'll notice right down here there's a small box, so I'm going to zoom in on that. If I go over and click on my Zoom Extents button, it'll zoom in on that area. And you will notice that that's my 1.5 inch cube. Now, I'm going to do that one more time just for you guys to follow along. So I'm going to undo it, zoom out just a little so I can see my axis point. I'm going to grab my rectangle box. I'm going to find the center where it snaps. Click and release your mouse. Start to pull out so you see an outline. Type in on your dimensions. I don't have to click down there, just start typing. 1.5 inches, which is the quotation, comma 1.5 inches. Hit enter, and there is the start of my box. Now that right now is just a 2D flat surface, so I'm going to pull it up. I am going to go to my push-pull tool. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click and release once. Do not drag. And notice I can start to pull up. I can either go up to the size I want, but what's easier is just typing in your size. So go to your keyboards and type 1.5 inches. Enter. And it will pull up your cube to 1.5 inches. Now I can't see the top. I can zoom in, zoom out, but if I want to recenter, I find it easiest to go to my Zoom Extents button, click on that, and it will recenter it for you. Now, if we rotate around, you'll notice it's the same on all sides. It's a cube 1.5 inches left, right, and up, or the X, Y, and Z axis. We are now going to start to color it. Now, for this cube, we want to make the whole cube the same color. So, rather than just clicking on one side, and I would have to go around and click on all the sides to make them a specific color, if you triple click 3 times, 1, 2, 3, notice it selects the entire cube, all sides. Now, we're going to open up our default tray so we can get to our colors. If you hover over your default tray section and make sure you click the thumbtack, it will stay open. Now I am going to grab my paint bucket. So I go over to my tools and I find my paint bucket so I can color the cube, and make sure that under materials you have this area open. Sometimes it opens automatically when you click the paint bucket. Sometimes you have to make sure that it's open. Just click the down arrow. As well as the drop down area is under colors. It might be under a different area, it might be under materials, looks like folders, but if you click the drop down, scroll down to colors, you'll see all the colors that you can select from. I am just gonna select, let's say, a green color. I'm gonna choose a green and come over, and with all the sides selected, I'm just gonna click on one and it colors all of them the same color. I'm going to get off of my paint bucket, choose my selection tool so I can roll around and double check. That looks good. One more thing, students. We need to turn our object into a group so it's easier to use later. If you notice, when you click on one side of our box, it just selects that side. And up at the entity info, it says it is a face. If we double click that side, it now has the face and our 4 edges highlighted, and it tells us that we have 5 entities. If we triple click, it should select the entire object, and in this case it says it has 18 entities, all sides and all edges. Once you have everything selected, if we right click on our box, we can go to Make Group. That will make it all one object, and it will signify that into the entity info because it says it is a solid group in one model. If you click off of it, click back on it, you can double check. It still says it is one solid group. So please, at the end of making all of your 5 objects, turn each one into its own group so they're easier to use later. Make sure you resave, file, save, and make sure you take a screenshot with the object selected so we can see it is highlighted with all blue edges signifying a group. Make sure you take a screenshot like that. Good luck.